Random thoughts to hurt your brain. The person who coined the phrase one-hit wonder never come up with another catchphrase. Pacific Ocean has 3 C's in it, all that sound different. Having loud in your apartment gives your neighbours the opportunity to participate remotely. Nothing tops a plain pizza. There's nothing more disheartening than working for a place you can't afford to shop at. The first non-consensual thing done to us is being given birth to. When a star is undressing, is she getting ready for work? Learning cursive was pointless. Milk is naturally drunk warm. Some lucky guy was the first person to receive nudes via a text message and probably didn't even realise it. I wonder, if I bothered letting people know that I had a patron, would that result in more people signing up? Making a family is not very family friendly. The appeal of being extremely rich is that you no longer have to worry about actually being an adult. You rarely see obese elderly people because they don't live long. I've heard so much about the eye of the tiger, but how come nobody ever talks about the other 4 letters? The dinosaurs didn't really know what hit them, but we would. You never see characters having trouble finding a parking spot in westerns. No matter how many people are in the saloon, the inn, the hotel, etc., the main character is always able to hitch their horse right outside. We use tables to keep food off the floor, tablecloths to keep food off the table, placemats to keep food off the tablecloth, and plates to keep food off the placemats. When I told my wife I have a crush on Beyonce, she said whatever floats your boat, which was confusing to me, because that's buoyancy. One of the most frustrating things about being a fish is the inability to scratch yourself. It's much more socially acceptable to get high alone than it is to get drunk alone. Mercedes has 3 E's in it, which all sound different. Believing reincarnation is real makes every a potential respawn point. The graph of my past relationships has an x-axis and a y-axis. The fatter one is, the more one spends on sun cream. A light year is a different length depending on what planet you're from. My wife has a weird habit of starting conversations by saying, "Are you even listening to me?" People who can't tell the difference between whole numbers and decimals are really missing the point. The drinks list on a restaurant's menu is never at the front, despite it being the first question any restaurant asks you. If Wookiees have a 400-year lifespan, then Han Solo is basically Chewbacca's 3rd dog. Lots of random people own rare valuable items without knowing it. I put the sexy in dyslexia. James Bond is always doing amazing feats in tailored suits. It's amazing to think of what he'd actually be able to accomplish in athletic wear, designed for extreme activities he was involved in. If somebody tells you a plot point for a story in advance, it's a spoiler. But if the author does, it's foreshadowing. No thanks, I'm vegan. It's a fun thing to say when somebody tries to hand you a baby. There is a number so big, nobody has ever wrote it, said it, or even thought of it. Almost everyone will go around the sun more times than they will the earth in their lifetime. People who buy dolls are dummies. There are 2 types of lazy people out there. Those who use the swimming pool ladder because it's easier than just climbing out the side of the pool, and those who use the side of the pool because it's easier than swimming all the way to the ladder. Eyebrows are weird as There is absolutely no reason for the word disappoint to have 2 P's. I've never in my life tried to pronounce the L so hard than when I asked a guy at the shop for some cork. Great minds don't actually think alike. The greatest mind in history thought like no other. An air mattress is great for when you want to sleep on the floor, but not just right away. Falling asleep is the ultimate trustful. Every night we bet our consciousness on the hope of waking up. Watching sad movie scenes involving kids hits you in the feels rather differently when you have kids of your own. 2 insects. Rain must be terrifying. People live and die without ever seeing their holes. Pickles are great until you're in one. Before the camera was invented, nobody had ever seen what they look like with their eyes closed. Humans are technically man-made because they're made by 2 people. Santa knows where all the evil people are in the world, but he doesn't do anything about it. Being the last person to comment on something is actually a lot harder than being the first. Your password has probably locked you out more times than it has locked out other people. Stan Lee's funeral was a reverse cameo. All of the superheroes appeared in the background of his story. The adjective for metal is metallic, but not so for iron, which is ironic. If there's one thing that makes me throw up, it's a dartboard on a ceiling. People who respond with, "That's not how the world works," when told to be nicer by others, are exactly the reason that's not how the world works. Light bulbs were such a good idea they became the symbol for a good idea. Top secret documents used to be kept on computers to keep them safe. However, nowadays it might be more safe to keep them off the computers. Of all of the Spider-Verses, we had to live in the one where he's a fictional character. It's quite ironic that strap-on backwards spells no parts. Dogs must wonder what's so great about pizza, as they only get to eat the crust. Christmas has really ruined red and green for everything else. The wizarding world of Harry Potter has pretty lacklustre rules about convincing criminals to become teachers. You can't spell advertisement without between the There is a dress code for strip clubs, even though most of their employees are half naked. We never care about hydraulic presses until they're crushing stuff. Easiest way to get in touch with your inner self is by buying cheap toilet paper. Saying somebody isn't conventionally attractive is becoming a popular euphemism for just calling them ugly. Banana bread is just cake. If somebody from Holland married a Filipino, would their kids be jalapenos? People who wear clothes with a big logo of the brand are just human billboards. We really take for granted the fact that we can change the temperature in our house with a push of a button. Alcohol is a perfect solvent. It dissolves marriages, families and careers. Everybody holds multiple world records. They just don't know it. And they are meaningless. Not caring about anything is depression. Caring about stuff too much is anxiety. In 25 years, when Gen X start needing elderly care, there are going to be a lot of nursing homes hiring IT specialists to take care of the massive bandwidth used from these elderly gamers. Why is marry kill not wed bed behead? Wood is rarer than diamonds in the universe. Homework is society's way of getting people ready for overtime. Overweight people are actually lifting weights 24/7. With great power comes a huge electricity bill. And finally, axe murderers don't kill axes. Kuntah! If you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified the next time I upload a video. And before you go, make sure you hit that like button and leave me a comment with your shower thoughts. Hey, maybe I'll use them in my next video. But until then, thank you very much for watching. And if you want to see more content right now, have a look in the description about my Patreon, because you can get a free trial right now and check out all of my past content. But until next time, Kuntah!